right, we're back. How are you doing?
Good. Yeah. How are you?
Not too bad. Celebrating my A-level results today.
Yeah. You passed?
Yep, I got three C's, cool, calm, and collected. I
No.
got the C's in um, modern art was my first. Uh,
Right, then.
it is an A-level. It just depends where you go.
Okay.
And then my second one was in like aquatic life.
What school
Uh,
teaches A-level aquatic life?
like under the sea and stuff. It's like it means fish. Like it's basically fish studies.
No, I
Uh,
know what it means.
yeah, and then thirdly, I did like home economics. Um,
Oh,
so basically, just like counting in your own house.
don't don't you exclusively cook Russell's burgers?
Yeah, it wasn't cooking. It was like counting. It's economics, but at home. It's different to the cooking one.
I don't think you've got a grasp on what any of those subjects are.
Aquatic life, I pretty strong
Marine
grasp on that.
biology, surely.
There's bugs flying around my room. My curtains are closed. Yeah, moths still appear. What are you drinking?
Um, as always, I'm on the brew dog.
Not a pint. We got criticised in our
Yeah.
last one.
Someone who
Feedback
will remain
section.
nameless.
Feedback section. We got
Yeah.
criticised for not drinking pints, just drinking like little half beers, which we have been doing. So I got a pint can of the Kronenberg 1984. So pretty
Cans of
tasty
crony.
stuff. No cans of Parody today.
I said crony.
Oh, I've got myself a little crony. Shotgun and a crony.
Um, yeah, fair play. That's you know what you've heard the feedback and you've
I've
answered. You've
responded
got an actual pint this time.
big time.
I
Still in a
got to
can.
finish off, got to finish off my cans before I buy more. Waste not, one not.
How much Brewdog do you buy at a time?
I think I bought like 8 cans.
It's taking you this long to get 8 cans worth.
I don't really drink beers by myself at home.
It's quite sad. Or the
Loser.
opposite of sad, I think, actually.
Yeah, I only drink hard liquor. I was thinking about this. So we're jumping through the sections, jumping from
Feedback is a weak section, to be fair to us, because we don't have enough viewers to get enough feedback that isn't like mainly positive.
yeah.
Like the only
Yeah,
people that watch it
that's the
are
problem.
people that are nice
That's
about
why
us.
our feedback is all negative, not because you don't have enough people watching.
No, if we had more people
I'll average
watching, I
out.
think we'd get negative feedback. That's what I'm saying. At the minute, majority of our feedback is positive because the people watching are people that actually like us.
It's true.
Whereas when you get a wider audience, you get people watching you who don't like you, but they like watching you because they don't like you. And that's really what I'm striving for. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I want people to
People
feel
watch us
so
out of other
compelled
people.
into watching me that they watch me even though they despise me.
Fair play. That's the goal. Setting the targets high.
Exactly. Know your enemy, but keep your friends close, as the saying goes. Do you know who's been cancelled recently? I've got a couple people on the
No.
cancel roundup. Who's been cancelled? Do you have any? Do you know of any people that have been cancelled that you know of
Well,
recently?
all the students in the country and the schools and the exam boards.
This is too confusing for me, to be fair, because there are some people I've seen on TikTok saying that they got like predicted
Good
three
place to get
A's.
your primary source of news.
Yeah, well, that's where the kids are, and we've got to listen to the kids. The kids are the future.
Yeah.
And they've all been saying that they've got predicted like three A's, and they've been given a BBC, and that's what I got overall back in the day. I got a BBC.
You're ecstatic about
Yeah, because
because
I actually sat those exams and did those exams and studied
yeah,
hard for 24 hours before each one. So it went well. I definitely did better than I probably deserved to.
yeah,
But these kids, it
I agree.
seems, some of them have. done badly and not deserved to do badly.
Yeah,
Um,
I feel that no matter how they do it, how they divide the results up and they work out what's fair, like some people are going to feel like they're being fucked over.
yeah, I
And
kind of my thoughts on it are kind of like that's that's the game.
yeah, don't hate the player.
Don't hit the play. You got dealt a bad hand. I'm sorry, but you just gotta.
Happens. There was some girl on the news who was going like, it's ridiculous. My grade's been taken down, so I've not. It's not fair. I'm now not getting into the course I wanted, and I know for a fact I would have got in if they hadn't done this. It's like, how do you know? How do you know you wouldn't have fucked up on the day of the exam? Like,
Maybe she's that intelligent that she could see into the future.
hyper smart. That's true.
Because I was watching a TV show recently called Devs, and in that I didn't really understand it, to be honest. I watched the whole thing and didn't really understand it, but that guy from Parks and Rec with the funny mustache, he creates a computer that can accurately predict exactly what happened in the what will happen in the future, and like
Yeah.
shows exactly what happened in the past. Like it basically works out like the code for the universe or something, which I think is a bit ridiculous. It's a bit out there for me.
That's where you draw the line.
Yeah, like that's silly. You couldn't really do that in real life. They pretend like it's all science and stuff, but it's probably I couldn't do it, so it's probably undoable.
Good rule of thumb, yeah.
But
So
do
who
you
was on your?
see? I'm surprised you didn't want to talk straight away about how we got cancelled.
What?
We got cancelled last week. Yeah,
Oh,
not
no,
our
it wasn't
fault
last.
because
This
of
was
our editor Vince
yeah.
did us
So,
over.
moving on to the formal apology section of the
Yeah,
podcast, which
to
might
be
be a regular
fair, we have made a sustained and what was it Logan Paul said? He's made a consistent and sustained lack of judgment or something like that.
thing. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense, but yeah,
No, we made a lack of judgment one time, and it was mainly my
egregious
fault,
error.
to be honest. Well, we've got this new intern, Vince, as people will be aware, because the last episode, the production value, to be fair to him, was through the roof. But yeah, we talked about Oscar Schindler, and Vince was unsure of who Oscar Schindler was, and got the wrong end of the stick, and thought that Oscar Schindler was a Nazi and not the other way around. Was like one of the good guys. So he said that we don't condone the actions of Oscar Schindler, but I would say on a whole, as a podcast, we do condone his actions and support them and think he probably should have done more, to be honest, in our opinion. Is that right?
Yeah, that was his opinion.
Okay, so yeah, we're just agreeing with him. Yeah, so we just want to put it out there that we're not anti-Semitic. And Josh, you suggested that we don't really talk about Nazis and anti-Semitism and stuff going forward for a little while, just to cover our tracks
Let's
to
come up
make
with a
sure.
cancel roundup.
Yeah. So should we just move past that? Do you think that's a good apology?
I think swiftly and surely, we move past that and wait for Vic to fuck it up in the edit.
Yeah, Vince is his name, but yeah, I get what you're saying. But yeah, so we're moving past all that. We don't want to talk about all that. Instead, we'll talk about Wiley. Have you seen Wiley in the news?
Yeah, I think so. This is a little while ago, right?
Yeah, it was. To be fair, it's been a while since we've recorded, but yeah, this was a little while ago. Basically, he hates the Jews.
Yeah,
So
interesting. It's so weird.
he said something like he tried to compare the Jewish community to the KKK, and then he said that if you're, I don't want to like I'm just paraphrasing because I can't remember exactly what he said, but he basically said along the lines of if you're black and Jewish, like you identify as Jewish, you're not really black, and it was like it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But yeah,
Right.
that was all a bit wild, and I think I saw like a lot of people were supporting him over it, which I didn't really understand that.
Yeah, there's Twitter, so there's always going to be.
That's true. All of my news and stuff comes from TikTok and Twitter, and it's all just so one-sided. It doesn't really, really add up to real-life arguments.
Yeah, echo chamber at its finest.
It really is. But that's the way we like it. I like yes men and yes women and yes everything in between, you know?
Yeah.
Do you remember your favourite TV show as a kid?
No.
You know it was on Nickelodeon.
It wasn't. I never watched Nickelodeon as a kid.
But it had your name in it.
Wait, are you going to say Drake and Josh?
Drake and Josh. You loved Drake and Josh back in the day.
Okay.
Because it was directed by Dan Schneider, and he really likes feet as well. He's another one of your Tarantino lot. So it would make sense that you graduated from Dan Schneider. You used to watch Drake and Josh and iCarly, all of that. You graduated onto Tarantino.
Does he also make like adult stuff? Does he also do a bunch of other stuff?
No, not Dan Schneider.
Was Drake and Josh the pinnacle of his career?
No, he does other like Nickelodeon shows. So he did Drake and Josh, but he also did iCarly, which was a massive hit, and he did Sam and Cat, which I think was a massive hit. But like, I think I'm a little bit too old to know that was a thing. I shouldn't really be aware of its existence, but basically,
it's worse that you know every episode by heart.
But in Drake and Josh, Drake has been cancelled recently.
Really?
I saw it on Twitter today. Apparently, his ex-girlfriend accused him on TikTok of being physically and verbally abusive, and she was 16 and he was 20 apparently when they were dating as well.
Jesus.
What do you think about that?
Big fucking strokey nonce.
It's not great, is it?
It's not a good look.
No.
I think, to be fair, I think take away the physical and verbal abuse. Being 20 dating a 16-year-old is not a good look.
Because this is illegal. She's a minor.
No, you know that you're right. It's like none of that's good.
There's not a single positive.
Stars fucked, aren't they? Like,
and he was cool as well. Like 20, he would have been doing Drake and Josh. And he was cool. Everyone loved Drake from Drake and Josh.
At 20, he was 20 when he was on a show.
I reckon so. That's how it works.
Is that a real law?
Yep. In Hannah Montana, the dude who plays the brother in Hannah Montana was about 30 and like genuinely is about 40 now and looks still like he's 17.
I don't know. I haven't seen. Didn't have sisters, so I didn't ever watch Hannah Montana.
You didn't ever watch Hannah Montana? Not even just to see what it was about?
No, I only watched as a kid. I watched like Cartoon Network and like CBBC.
You've always been into that anime stuff, to be fair.
Cartoon Network was the best kids channel.
What was on Cartoon Network? What was so great that was on Cartoon Network?
Good stuff. Danger Mouse, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
That was pretty good, actually. I remember that one. The guy with the flat nose.
Yeah. And the Grim
he was my favourite one.
The Jamaican Grim Reaper.
Wait, was he Jamaican?
Yeah, a really thick Jamaican accent for no reason.
I swear. Do you think he was voiced by a Jamaican?
I've got no idea.
Because he'll have to apologise if not, I think.
But it was a really weird show. Like, and yeah, I remember my aunt coming and being like, she just didn't understand. She watched it with her kids, who were like, my cousins, same age as me.
Yeah, to be fair, she was an adult. She wasn't going to understand it.
Too weird. She was like lecturing us on like why we shouldn't watch that show. I don't think there was anything wrong with it, but it was just weird.
My parents used to do that with the Chuckle Brothers. I was never allowed to watch the Chuckle Brothers because they're just too annoying.
Physically abusive.
And they were physically abusive to their 16-year-old girlfriends. That's what the press won't tell you.
It's a true like twist of fate that the Chuckle Brothers went on and became club DJs.
They became the Cray twins as well at one point.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's the story. The Cray twins are actually the Chuckle Brothers.
To me, to you.
One of them died, didn't he?
Yeah.
He got caught in some like gang warfare or something.
name another CBBC character. I can't remember. Yeah, Tracy Beaker gunned him down.
Tracy Beaker, now she was annoying.
I can't remember much about the CBBC shows. There weren't many good ones. There weren't
Yeah, I can't remember any, really, to be honest. Hider in the House. Did you ever watch Hider in the House?
In the house.
No?
How can
That
they
was
lock him out
cracking. They used
when
to
he's
get a
already
celebrity
inside?
and hide them in the person's house, but hide them from their parents for 2 days and like do different challenges around the house. They'd pretend they were children.
That concept sounds familiar. I think. Did you ever watch? So the classic was like Prank Patrol.
Oh, that was good with the ninjas.
Yeah, and they just did like mad pranks for kids. They probably weren't very good.
Yeah, I remember. I used to always watch
they were
it.
really sophisticated as a kid.
Yeah, I used to watch it and always think if I was being pranked by the prank patrol, I'd know instantly. And also, there's no way that you'd get me in those situations. But I remembered, like, they used to invite kids to go do like a fun day, like a planetarium. Well, if someone invited me to it, I just wouldn't have wanted to go. I'd be like, that sounds really boring. I don't want to go. So they'd never be able to get me there.
I don't know if that was like the problem with it. I feel that they would do like invite people out to like the lake or like to go play football or whatever, and then they would play the prank. And it would be...
No, it used to be stuff like, oh, I need help working at this like dog groomers, or can you come help out at this science lab or something? There's no way I'd be doing any of that.
Yeah, that's true. Do you remember Basil Brush?
He was a legend.
I'm British. I drink tea and I dunk me ginger nuts.
Basil Brush was, it was a weird show as well. But I think that's the only like there weren't very many notable CBC shows. I feel that a lot of people will hear. When I say a lot of people, the two people who watch this will hear me say I didn't watch Nickelodeon and be outraged.
Well, it is kind of outrageous because there was some good stuff on Nickelodeon. But then also I feel like maybe there actually wasn't that much good stuff on Nickelodeon now that I think about it. It had SpongeBob, which I never, to be fair, people love it, but I've never been a massive SpongeBob guy. And there was Drake and Josh, which was good, and there was Fairly Odd Parents. I used to like Fairly Odd Parents. And in the live action version of Fairly Odd Parents, Drake Bell played the little kid.
Oh, there's a circle going around. You know, that kind of he was messing with kids at 20 when he was on Drake and Josh. Who wants to know what he was doing
on the Fairly Odd Parents set? Oh,
yeah. I feel that Fairly Odd Parents was on CBC as well.
No, it was definitely a Nickelodeon exclusive.
Maybe.
Not maybe, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't argue this with me. They never would have touched the BBC.
I think. Because again, I feel that I watched that.
CBBC didn't have many cartoons. It was mainly live action stuff.
You're right.
I know. Do you see Howie Mandel? Well, actually, not just Howie Mandel. A couple celebrities have been kidnapped recently.
Really?
Yeah. Do you know who Howie Mandel is?
Yeah, the guy from American Idol.
Yeah. Apparently, he's a massive germaphobe. And
yeah.
Apparently, when this whole like coronavirus thing happened, he's escaped and locked himself away from his like wife and his kid. And he's just living in this mansion, like, on his own. It looks pretty sick, but also he's been kidnapped, is the word on the streets.
Apparently everyone says, like, he's really good at his job. He's, like, a really good presenter and host and judge and these, like, stuff. But he's also fucking unbearable because he never, like, stops telling jokes and just trying to be, like, the center of attention.
I am going to be the most annoying man.
Yeah. Well... People think that at the minute he's being forced to make TikToks against his will.
Jamie, look it up.
Jamie, look it up for us. It's a video of this. The original TikTok was a woman talking about how like best to clean your like lady parts. And it's cool. It's like an extensive guide, I guess, to educate girls, right? And for whatever reason, Howie Mandel has just duetted this TikTok, which is where you can like film yourself alongside
it's like
TikTok. And he's just doing some like very strange interpretive dance. Like he's not talking the whole time. He's just moving around doing really weird actions. And there's quite a few like that, or ones where he's just looking at the screen saying weird stuff. And I maybe wouldn't think that he'd been kidnapped if it wasn't for the case that Britney Spears has also been kidnapped.
Yeah.
Oh, Britney Spears has been posting some very strange things, man, on Instagram.
Weird stuff.
Is she?
Or just always being kind of weird.
Well, to be fair, she did like the classic Hollywood story. She was a young girl and got like, it all went wrong for her.
Yeah, got into drugs and stuff.
Yeah, and just like, I don't know the full story of Britney Spears, to be honest, but she was quite young when she started.
Yeah.
I heard in that like that video where she's dressed up as like a young schoolgirl, she was literally like 16 or 17, so she was like a schoolgirl, which is really creepy.
Yeah.
So she had like a mental breakdown, like shaved her head and that. But recently, she's just been posting very strange, like looking deep into the camera, kind of monotone, answering questions from people. But it seems they all seem like ISIS videos, is what I think when I watch them.
We should steal their format. That's how we should structure this podcast. We should stare, like, get real close, and
like a hostage video, like with someone scripting us. It could be that'd be a different podcast, I think, if we did that. Did you have anyone then that you've heard about being cancelled?
No, I was looking it up, and I say all I can think of is like the schools. So there was a guy, some Australian like rock star was he came out, like it was on the news, on the BBC News today. So Nick Cave, and he got like he came out and gave like this kind of like speech about cancel culture and how it's like it's the saddest religion in the world.
When you said he came out, I thought you meant he'd like revealed that he was a gay man or something.
No, he's just kind of gone public with his hate of cancel culture, and he's just he called it a bad religion, and he's just kind of he didn't get cancelled. He's just gone on like a bit of a boomerish kind of spiel about it, and but that's the best I could do for this week.
He's an idiot, firstly, because it's not a bad religion, because everyone knows religion is cancelled. There's no way religion has survived. Religion is for sure cancelled. So it's not a religion. It's a cult, probably.
It's different.
But he's got to watch out, because we'll cancel him.
We'll cancel. We're the arbitrators of cancel culture now.
We're the judges.
Listen, Nick Cave. Listen, we have
Nick Cage.
Cave.
Oh, yeah, we'll cancel you. Maybe Nick Cage would give it a second thought, but Nick Cave.
Nick Cave.
We're coming for you, baby. We're gonna get you, baby. Nick Cave, you're done. You're done. I've been thinking what I really want is a soundboard.
Yeah.
Like one where partway through I can just go, "Awooga," or that's a real stinger.
I like that.
Yeah. Give me a coffee, Vinny.
That's it. You've got a whole keyboard just to record that.
Just a soundboard. It's got one button. It will say,
"Call me up when you spunked all over his sheets."
Genuinely, we can't keep that in. That's horrid.
You can spell it.
What's the next topic? What have you got to talk about?
I've got nothing.
You said you were going to prepare.
Oh, but I forgot.
I've really recently been liking people who comment earnestly on like Facebook posts. So like when a page, and not like a specific page, like a random page, which is like celebrity funny or something like that, they're usually called, and they just post videos of celebrities. When Facebook friends of mine, usually like older people, comment on that and being like, "Oh my God, they're the best. I love them." Just on like a public post, I always it confuses me a little bit. I like it because it's pure and it's real. These people being like, oh, I love this person, but also, why? Who's that for? Like, if you're posting it in the comments of that thing, the only people the person's not going to see it because they don't visit Celebrity Funny. Like, Chris Pratt is not going over to Celebrity Funny to see what people are saying about him. So who's it for? Like, the only people seeing that comment are your friends on Facebook who probably have no thoughts on Chris Pratt at all. Like, probably go day to day. They've never even thought about Chris Pratt. And then the other people who will see it are like fans of Celebrity Crush or whatever. And they also love Chris Pratt. So they know that he's a great guy and they love him. So explain to me that. Who are they posting it for? I like it. I enjoy it. I get a real kick out of it, to be honest. But I don't know who it's there for. Maybe it's there for me.
Yes, it's specifically for you. Yeah.
Maybe it's all for me.
There's like an odd breed of people who treat Facebook the way you're meant to treat Twitter, where they just kind of spew stuff out.
I love it. I do it sometimes on Instagram. On Joe Rogan's posts, I'll comment stuff just like, cool pic, Joe. As if I know him. I don't know him. But I post it because I know some of my friends will see it. And like occasionally one of my friends will like it because it's quite funny that I've commented just on Joe Rogan's post. Oh, cool pic, Joe. But with these people doing it on Facebook, they're doing it legit. They're not being like ironic and sarky with it.
I'm confused. Is Joe Rogan still cancelled, or has he kind of ridden the wave of that? Because I feel
he got re-cancelled recently.
Yeah, he's had a tough few weeks. There was something about video games, wasn't there? That he got in trouble.
That wasn't properly cancelled though. He just said that video games make you lazy, because in his experience,
a waste of your time, right? He said he used to play them a lot, and he was like, I just wasn't getting anything done with my life.
Yeah, so he was basically like, video games are a waste of your time because in my experience, they're a waste of your time, and I'm talking on my experience. So I kind of get where he's coming from, and I also do agree with him that video games are a waste of your time.
I'm not sure. I feel that like
I really enjoy them. Don't get me wrong, but they're a waste of time.
I feel like what defines it as a waste? Like he does UFC for a living, or comments on UFC. UFC is just a waste of time as well. Like it's all a waste of time.
Dominating another man in the ring,
right?
Ain't never a waste of time, fella.
It's not domination unless you're hunting him.
But no, he got cancelled recently because he had a doctor lady on, and I think she had quite like trans views. And whilst Joe didn't specifically agree with her on those views, he didn't necessarily challenge them, which is what he gets criticised for a lot. He has these controversial people on
airtime, right?
Yeah, that's his number one criticism over all his podcasts, is he gets these controversial people on and doesn't really challenge them. And I can appreciate that. I don't really watch those Joe Rogan podcasts, to be fair. I usually watch him with other comedians because when I watch it, I want to laugh. I don't want to hear about, like, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I don't know how you feel about he pisses me off, man.
Well, he got cancelled a while ago.
Yeah, but
he's a real piece of shit. Like at his core, he's a dickhead. And he's done some pretty like inappropriate stuff with like women in offices he's worked in and in like companies he's worked for. But he's just a bit of a prick because I don't think I've ever seen him explain anything like kindly or sensitively. It's every time someone asks him to explain something scientific, he acts like he's the smartest person in the world.
And he's not.
Yeah, he's wrong about quite a lot of stuff sometimes.
And he's smart.
Got a very select knowledge range about. Yeah, he knows the stuff about physics.
Yeah, I always think these people, they're smart about stuff that no one can really confirm. Like, oh, he's smart about how the universe started, but you don't know that he's right. You could be well wrong. We just think he's smart because he says he is.
Yeah, why not? I can believe it.
That's true, isn't it? That's how he got his job. He just said, "Oh, I'm really good."
That's what they all do it. That's how doctors become doctors.
How can he prove though how the universe started and stuff? This is what I never understand.
Like, if you're looking, I never have the ability, time, or energy to try and explain how.
This is the thing. It always gets explained away as, oh, it's too complicated to be able to tell you.
But like, look, it's
Is
not
there
so
not
much.
a way of dumbing it down for the general population to know? I think it's just all rubbish.
Well, I'm sure there is, right? Like, to dumb it down, but he wasn't very good at it because when he dumbs it down, he acted like a dick.
Well, there we go then. So I think he's full of rubbish, to be honest. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
So off the back of not liking him, are you rejecting his
All
contribution?
science.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe I am.
Angus,
No, I don't think that's true.
Angus the anti-vaxxer.
I'm not anti-vaccinations at all. Can we put that out there?
Nah, leave it in, Vince.
You've mistaken the fact that you're pro needles with the fact that I'm anti-vax. I've been very clear.
Do the same thing. Just inject yourself.
Yeah, I've been very clear that there are just some injections I don't agree with, and you've taken that to mean that I'm anti-vax because you're very pro all of
Vic, cut it out.
them.
He's turned the tables on me.
We can't say Vic cut it out as a joke because then he won't know when to actually cut it out.
What's the Pintsize podcast stance on Joe Rogan? Is he back in favour? Can we try and emulate him again?
I think my stance is that he's a good comedian, and I like his comedy. His views outside of that, I don't necessarily always agree with, but it's difficult because this whole thing, it again is the whole thing of separating the art from the artist, and when it comes down to being like literally episode specific with him. Because some of them are just comedy episodes, but then others are some supposedly informative, like interviews.
Yeah, I feel that part of the charm of Joe Rogan's podcasts is it's a guy who's not, who's smart enough. He's not stupid, but he's not like super intelligent or super knowledgeable about a lot of stuff. And he brings on people who are, and you're kind of going through learning about stuff with Joe, and it's him just because also when you look at his really old podcasts, he comes across a lot dumber than he does in like today, and you kind of go on this knowledge journey with this kind of meathead.
But that's what I like. I like the meathead stuff, like where he's just being an idiot, like just broing down with his bros. That's my favorite stuff. That's why I watch him with comedians and not him when he's got like Ben Shapiro or something on.
Yeah.
Although, have you seen about Ben Shapiro recently?
No, I haven't. I don't think Ben Shapiro. I don't think I've seen like anything of him since he was like in his heyday a couple of years ago.
There has been some top quality Ben Shapiro content, genuinely top tier stuff from him. God rest his soul. He died last year, as everyone. Yeah, he did. But they've uncovered some new footage. There's one of him singing.
Yeah, you effing with some wet ass P word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass P word. Give me everything you've got for this wet ass P word. Beat it up, N word, catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P word right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top if I want to ride. I do a Kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This P word is wet, come take a dive.
Apparently he's like a trained singer. And
No, he's a violinist.
Okay, well, Josh, I'm telling you that in this video I saw he was singing. I don't really know how else to tell you this. And he sings. The boy can hold a tune, to be fair to him.
Like an angel.
But it's also very cringy. He's like in his suit, dressed. And anyway, that was the start of like a weird few weeks for Ben Shapiro and stuff he was releasing. After that, Cardi B's released a new song called WAP. And it's all about women and being wet. It's essentially what it's about. And Ben Shapiro's wife, who is a doctor, apparently told him that a wet vagina is like a disease thing and that women shouldn't have that. And Ben Shapiro tweeted this out or something, or tweeted a video of him responding to this music video with Cardi B, basically saying that his wife is a doctor and says that your vagina shouldn't ever really be wet, which was the biggest self-own of anybody ever.
I feel that surely can't be true.
It's real. It's all out there for you to look up. And then the most recent thing that's been really weird is these videos of him laughing have been uncovered, and he laughs like the Joker in the new Joker film, like the Whacking Phoenix, and it's genuinely identical. It's the creepiest thing I've ever seen. He's fully lost it. He is the epitome of we live in a society.
Yeah, there was like he was really big. I want to say like 2016. Maybe
when those like
2017
feminists getting owned videos were like really at their peak popularity.
There was also
SJWs getting wrecked.
Milo Yiannopoulos, or
oh yeah, he got deplatformed. Milo Yiannopoulos.
He got fired from. Do you remember? What's the newspaper they wrote? It was Breitbart.
I'm not aware of the newspaper, to be honest.
So Breitbart was like the alt-right newspaper.
Oh.
And it was like there was like a bunch of them. All of those people were kind of either working for Breitbart, not Ben Shapiro, but they were all working for Breitbart or had some affiliation. Like, you know, there was also the woman, Lauren Southern, who was she was the woman who went out and said the whole thing about I sexually identify as an Apache helicopter.
No, is that where that originated?
I think so. I don't know if I think she certainly made it more famous, if not originated it. I'm pretty sure she was the first one to say it.
I hate that joke so much.
It's such a dumb joke.
It's just boring.
But she's like, I don't know if she was specifically related to Breitbart, but like people she worked with were Breitbart writers, and there was like a lot of that kind of circle of like these like edgy morons who kind of thought they were, and the one Milo got famous and kind of rose to that like.
Well, because his whole thing was that he was gay, but also an alt-right like Trump supporter, and people were like, oh, that's so unusual, and then that got him like boosted, and I didn't really ever watch much of him, and considering I used to like try and be a bit edgy. Not necessarily in that regard, just be aware of edgy things and like. Yeah. He never interested me. The old Milo.
What interested me more, and it wasn't any of the stuff that like most people who were like his fans would have interested. What I thought was interesting, like I felt he would stand up in, you know, he'd only really go around America and talk Americans, but being like an English guy, he'd stand up and talk about how England is basically a Muslim country and has been overrun by Asian immigrants. And it's like, I don't know how you could possibly think that. Yeah. Surely you're just being completely disingenuous. You're just making it up at that point. Because I don't know how a sane person who's been to England could think like even in the really, like the parts where Islam or like South and kind of West Asian people are most common, which would be like East London and like Bradford and Birmingham, right?
Yeah.
They're not overrun. It's still like a white majority. It's
just a classic meme of like, oh, white people are now the minority. Like, it's not actually ever true, I think. Like, unless you really, really, really localized it, it's not true. And even then,
in this house,
why is it even a negative thing? Like, it's just.
Yeah. I just felt it was weird. He'd stand up and he'd make all these kind of bullshit points, and people would kind of go, "These are great points," and like that didn't really interest me. What I thought was like the point, like seemingly his experience of like England was completely different to anyone I've ever met, having lived in England my whole life. Like
he was quite boring. What is a lot more interesting is Ben Shapiro saying his wife's pussy is dry.
Yeah,
that's what I want to hear. More content like that, where Ben Shapiro just like puts his foot in it by saying something completely and utterly ridiculous about his own life.
I don't know where whose error that was. Was it like, was his wife the doctor being an idiot? Did she just get it wrong, or was she like saying it but he like misinterpreted and like said it?
Absolutely, I think she's just said it to make him feel better. Because they're all ultra religious, like no sex
Oh,
before
well,
marriage,
she-
all that sort of stuff. Like, there's got to be an element of culture behind it. Of
Is
like,
he- is
she's
he
not
like-
allowed to. They're not allowed to enjoy sexual relations and stuff. I'm pretty
Is
sure.
he
Like,
Orthodox, or is he like a like?
I think he's super Christian, like
He's
Catholic.
not, he's Jewish.
Is Ben Shapiro Jewish? I don't think so.
He definitely is.
I'm gonna look
He
this
wears a
up. I don't
yarmulke.
think he is.
He talks about Judaism in basically everything he ever says, and his
Really?
name's Shapiro.
Is Shapiro? I didn't know that was a Jewish name.
Ben Shapiro's like the most Jewish name you can have in America.
I
Like,
really thought he was Catholic, dude. I don't know. No, yeah, he's Jewish, dude. It turns out
what a shocker.
he developed a talent for violin at a young age, having performed at the Israel Bonds banquet in 1996 at 12.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. He's a really good. He's like a world grade violinist.
Yeah, but he's a better singer. You haven't heard him sing.
Haven't.
Oh, like an
Up,
angel.
Jamie.
Vince, sorry. Put a video up of Shapiro singing.
Silent and sure, keeping watch in the night, keeping watch in the night. You know your place.
That'll be some great content there.
We'll get copyright striked.
No, it will just we'll dub it out.
Oh, you'll sing over it.
No, I'm not a good singer. We'll get someone who Scott can do it.
Ben Shapiro. What if we asked him to do it?
Yeah.
Get him to co-sign. He could be the third member of the Pintsize pod. Well, actually, Vince is the third member, I think. Fourth member.
member. What else is he up to these days?
Well,
Like-
he's being dusty down there, I guess.
We could use like a a controversial figure to kind of get our views up a bit.
We don't need any more controversy.
It's true. We've had enough in our short
We've
lives.
done literally like 5 episodes now, and we've had too many controversies already.
Yeah, they're all with the best intentions and the worst brain
Worst.
power.
The worst workforce.
Yeah, we're just not very good.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So are we out of planned topics?
Yeah, I ran out almost instantly, to be honest. I had a few people who were cancelled. But here's the thing, I think of stuff during the week, but then I forget to write it down sometimes. Or I write it down, and then I look at it a couple of days later, and I'm just like, that's stupid. Like, why did I even think that?
So
I was thinking the other day about postcodes. There are some postcodes that have a letter just in the middle of them. And I don't...
like
Yeah, it's like S12E and then a number.
yeah, no, I wasn't asking. Yeah, postcodes.
Yeah. I was thinking about
Like,
postcodes.
give us an example. What's your postcode?
I'm not going to give out my postcode. It's crazy. But no, why? How do they decide which ones just get letters in the middle of them? Those ones annoy me. They think they're better than everyone else.
You know what? I learned a stupid fact today. Babies
Lay it
don't
on
get
me.
babies don't have knees. They don't have kneecaps.
They literally crawl everywhere. How do you crawl without knees?
Kids don't develop kneecaps until they're 4. And they turn
According to who?
Google. I looked it up.
Where are their knees? You can't just get a knee out of
Their
nowhere.
cartilage when they're born, and they they become bone when they're like 4.
No, this is actually this has
That's
annoyed me.
Fucking stupid though, isn't it? Like,
How do they crawl? Literally, their only mode of transport is crawling. Knees are one of the only things you need to be able to crawl.
they don't have kneecaps.
No cap.
No cap.
That's stupid. The only thing they do requires bloody kneecaps, and they don't even have them.
Yeah,
How old were you when you got your kneecaps?
16.
Do you remember
That's
it?
like bloomer.
Descended kneecaps.
But it makes you. It's like,
Makes me feel a bit ill.
Sorry.
Makes me feel a bit ill.
Yeah, I was just thinking. It's like I kind of just want to see a baby's knees at this point. I want to verify that. It's like, nah, probably shouldn't.
Yeah, bloody hell! Don't go Google image search baby's knees. Don't do that. They've got like 2 peg legs. Then that means
Yeah, no, they're still.
you're a double pirate until the age of 4.
Yeah. Well, it's not really like a peg leg, is it? It's still got like a joint. It's still got 2 joints or 3 joints.
Oh, it's just not got like a shield then, I guess.
Yeah, no kneecap.
Oh.
Yeah, not saying like all babies' legs are straight and some.
I was picturing like Patrick from SpongeBob with like those straight legs. That's horrid, though.
Yeah, it's a bit grim.
Do they have elbows?
No.
You're not. You said no, but I can tell you don't know if that's true.
Wait, what do you mean? Of course, they have elbows, but you don't have an elbow cap, do you?
Not yet. Maybe I'm due to get one.
Yeah, when you're 90, you get one.
Yeah, you get 2 elbow caps. Why don't we
sure.
have elbow
I
caps?
think there's a bit of like cartilage. I don't know if there's like a bone there.
Some people have
we'll get
really
Lucas.
sharp elbows.
Lucas did biomed. He can like answer our biology questions.
Lucas, what happened? Why won't my wife get wet? Is it a disease? He'll answer that.
Yeah,
he'll know the answer to that.
We'll love that.
But no, some people have proper sharp elbows. They're like weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you never seen someone with sharp elbows?
No. No.
You're joking. You've never seen like a proper angular person where they've got like knives.
Everywhere I go, people only wear long sleeves.
Or they've got fat elbows. You only know fat elbowed people.
Yeah.
What group of people do you think have the fattest elbows?
I can't think of anything that would be funny. So like, I feel that at
Not
best,
fat necessarily as in like chubby, but like the heftiest, like the most muscular elbows.
Scottish people.
Scottish people. For what reason?
Stout, strong people, aren't they?
Stout. Can you describe a person as stout?
Your dad.
Isn't that a type of beer though?
Yeah.
I guess
It's
to be
also-
fair, you do sometimes say, "Oh, he's a bit lager than me," so it works. I think people that do curling have hefty elbows.
Curling.
My dad did used to do curling. To be fair,
Really?
yeah, with the broom and stuff, and because he was Scottish. So
It's curling. I don't think curling's a particularly Scottish thing, is it?
well, it's cold there.
It's not that cold though.
Colder than here.
Great podcast conversation.
Grand scheme of things, it's quite cold.
Yeah.
You look at
Not
places
cold.
across the globe, it probably comes in like top 10.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Name 9 places colder than Scotland.
Canada, Antarctica.
Arctic, you mean, not Arctica.
The Arctic is Arctica.
Absolutely not Arctica.
I think so.
It's Antarctic or the Arctic. 2 different places. Arctica. Arctica's not.
Antarctica is a continent, but the Antarctic.
We'll have people comment and decide, but I'm telling you, Arctica
Yeah.
is not a place.
I think at least I'm pretty sure that's what I grew up like knowing it as.
You may
Arctica.
have grown up knowing it as that, but I'm telling you that's not.
I think Arctic comes from Arctica.
We've been going for way too long. We're gonna have to wrap this up.
We'll just edit out all the bad bits, so it'll probably be about a 5-minute podcast.
Well, it'll be 5 minutes of you saying Arctica, which just isn't a real thing.
Pretty sure.
You okay with that?
We'll find out for next week, yeah?
You got any final messages for the people at home?
No.
Or wherever they are?
Visitor.
Oh, you've got a visitor.
See ya.
goodbye message from Jane.
That was my goodbye
See
message.
you later. That was perfect. I've never been more excited.
That's
This is,
technically my second guest.
3, 2, 1. See you later, fellas.